Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio, and today I am delighted, ladies and gentlemen, because I can finally say that after this video, we're up to date with the Sword and Shield card reveals. We have finally looked at all of the new cards that came out in Sword and Shield. It took a while. They dropped literally like a couple hundred cards on us in the space of a week or so. But we've finally done it, ladies and gentlemen. We've finally done it. So let's start off having a little bit of a look at the only Darkness Pokemon we'd yet to have a gander at. It's Drapion. Now, to be fair, 140 HP on a stage 1 is pretty nice. It's not Copperaja nice, but very few things are Copperaja nice when it comes to HP. And to be fair, 190 is a bit stupid. But 140 on a stage 1's pretty good. Retreat cost to 3 is disappointing because it's high, but it doesn't give you access to stuff like buff padding, so boo, hiss, etc. And a weakness to fighting, it's not ideal. With stuff like Morpeko looking really good, that is only going to want to make more people play fighting decks, and that ain't good for things with a fighting weakness. But it's the attacks here we're really worried about. Our translations come from the lovely David Hockman over at limitlesscg.com/translations. We love David. He's lovely. And the first attack here, 1 darkness, 2 colorless energy, 80 damage, flip a coin, if heads paralysis. And we've seen these kind of attacks time and time again. Do some damage, flip a coin if heads paralysis. And let's be clear, right? 80 damage with paralysis on a coin flip is very, very good. But we're starting to get into it's just too expensive. Maybe in Expanded with Dark Patch, but then again in Expanded we got so many better options for using Dark Patch. I don't know if I can even really say that seriously. And double colorless energy. But again, that's a lot to invest. In Standard, we got triple acceleration energy, which only lasts for 1 turn. And even though it only lasts for 1 turn, that's still not enough to actually pay the attack cost here. We've still got to go Darkness double colorless. So we need a Darkness as well. It's not, no. Now, I looked at Galvantula yesterday, and Galvantula has a very, very similar attack. Except it's Lightning colorless, not Darkness double colorless. And it's 60, not 80. But I like Galvantula way more. Because with Galvantula, either you use Thunder Mountain Prism Star, or you use a Tapu Koko Prism Star, or you use like a single energy switch from any of your Pokemon, and now all of a sudden it works. It is an attack you can actually legitimately, reliably get rolling in 1 turn. Drapion isn't. Now the second attack, 2 darkness, 2 colorless energy, 130 damage plus poison. Just no. Well, look, 130 is nice. It means you're hitting the numbers on things like Naganadel and Hooper. 130 for most non-GXs is as high as you need to go. But what are you getting after that? I mean, poison's fine, but it's only 10 damage between turns. In Expanded, you've got Survivor that'll add 10. You've got Verbank City Gym that will add 20. And I suppose even in Standard, we've got Toxicroak. Toxicroak is alright. It adds 20. So 4 of them, and that's 90 for poison rather than 10. So now you're up to 220. But 220 ain't that much. Like, if you've got a stage 1 Drapion with 2 darkness energy, 2 colorless energy, and 4 stage 1 Toxicroak on the bench, you are hitting 220 damage. Which sounds like a lot, but it's not enough to get like any tag team Pokemon. Pikachu and Zekrom, 240, yeah, that's not enough. And okay, if it then comes back to you, if your opponent doesn't get out the active, it then goes up to 310, and then you're getting every tag team, even the big boys like Magikarp and Wailord, and you're even getting these smaller VMAXs like Morpeko, and alright, at that stage I'm loving it. But when your opponent's taking 9 damage from poison between turns, and they know that leaving themselves in the active is going to give up free prizes, who's ever going to fall for that? You literally have to hope your opponent's going to go, well, I'm giving up free prizes, but I'm going to stay in the active. No one's falling for that. It's way too much investment. Sorry, Drapion, you're too expensive. How about Mawile? Well, It's a basic Pokemon. It's got 90 HP, so, fingers crossed for a level ball reprint. It's got a retreat cost of 1, so U-turn board works quite nicely. Or a skateboard if you're paralyzed or asleep. So that's good. 1 colorless energy. Search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. No. If you want to get basic Pokemon, Dunsparce is your boy. Dunsparce might only have 50 HP, but you search for 3 basics, whack them on the bench, and then switch. Now, to be fair, this search is for a Pokemon, not a basic Pokemon, and it goes to your hand, although it means if it's a basic, you don't get to bench it and then evolve it next turn. But I can't have just going back to Alolan Vulpix. And I know Alolan Vulpix isn't legal in Standard, but it searched for 2 Pokemon for 0 energy. This searches for 1 Pokemon for 1 energy. No. 1 metal, 1 colorless, 40 damage, discard an energy attached to the defending Pokemon. If this was for a single energy, I would at this stage be going, right, let's make a deck around it. Let's make an energy denial deck and roll. But it's not. Now, what I will say is we've now got Metal Saucer. A Metal Saucer is Aqua Patch, but for metal. And that means that you can attach 4 extra metal energy to your bench metal Pokemon using the 4 Metal Saucer you put in your deck. You could even use Tapu Koko, Prism Star, or Malamar, or anything else, given that you do have a metal colorless cost rather than a metal cost. So it's a payable attack, and to be fair, it's not bad for getting rid of energy. And if you combine this with stuff like Crushing Hammer, you can maybe have a nice energy denial deck. And it is an automatic energy discard according to David. It is not on a coin flip energy denial. So again, there is an awful lot here we're enjoying. There is a lot to hang our hat on and say, yeah, that's pretty good. The 40 damage is a problem. You'll get Ditto Prism Star, but basically nothing else. But essentially, this is energy denial. And maybe it's not the best energy denial. I mean, Torkoal's got an attack that gets rid of 2 energy while doing 120 damage. Now, to be fair, it's also for 4 energy, but to be fair, they can use Welder. And to be fair, it gives up 2 prizes, but to be fair, it's got, very high HP. I think 210, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 210. So if you really want to go energy denial, I don't know why I'd go for this over Torkoal. As a budget energy denial deck option, Mawile works. I just don't know if discarding 1 energy and doing 40 damage is enough in either sense. I don't think it does enough damage or discards enough energy. I could be wrong, but I'm not loving it like I'd like to be loving it. And the very last card we need to look at from Pokemon Sword and Shield is Ferrothorn. And I know it took a while, but gosh darn it, ladies and gentlemen, we made it all right. We got there. This is, it's a stage 1 metal Pokemon. And for 1 colorless energy, flip 3 coins, 30 damage times the number of heads. 90 damage for 1 energy, great. 0 damage for 1 energy, terrible. And they are as likely as each other. So you should be hitting either 30 or 60. You should be averaging 1 or 2 heads. Well, Doug Trio that we got in the V-Dex, he does 60 for 1 energy, except it's just a guaranteed 60 for 1 energy. And you don't have to flip coins, and you're hitting a much better weakness. Now, it is on a fighting energy rather than a colorless energy, but I'm still not loving it. So, the very last attack in Sun and Moon we need to talk about, 2 metal, 1 colorless energy, 100 damage. You may move all energy from this Pokemon to one of your benched Pokemon. I mean, look, Gardevoir and Sylveon has an attack whereby you can move all your energy. And to be fair, Gardevoir and Sylveon is a very good card, but it does a lot more damage. 150 rather than 100. It can move all your energy, not just the energy attached to the active. And just 100 isn't enough. I mean, to stay on Gardevoir and Sylveon, Ferrothorn needs to do 130 to 1-hit KO with weakness, and you're doing 100. You're not even that close. So you're not doing enough damage. And you don't have to move the energy. It is a May, which is good. But it's not enough, ladies and gentlemen. Plus, it's 2 metal and a colourless to begin with. And even when you start bringing in stuff like Metal Sorcerer, I mean, who's putting free energy on a Ferrothorn before they're putting free energy on a Copperaja? Does 220. Now, to be fair, the attack fails if you've got 8 or more damage counters on, but that's why Arceus invented Mallow and Lana. So, no. I don't think Ferrothorn's a bad Pokemon per se. I don't think it's some kind of unplayable trash garbage. But I think that any time we look at this and go, oh, I might play that, we also go, well, we've got better options. We've got other things to do. So unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think that's going to be it. But never mind. What is it is that we've now looked at every card from Sword and Shield. We've done every card from Sword and Shield. We've done every card from the V-Dex. We have now analysed every single card. And that makes me rather happy. So I'd like to know what you think about the cards we've looked at in this video, or any cards from Sword and Shield. Let's start a discussion down in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and then follow me on Twitter at the Wassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, which is where we talk about games that aren't Pokemon related, but are awesome. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.